So in this video, we are going to discover the biomechanics of a jump called the toe loop.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not.
It gets the people going.
This is a double toe loop. But first, we are going to analyze how the athletes build up their speed to go into the jump by what is called stroking. So as we know, skating is a perfect example of linear motion because the whole body is gliding forward at the same time. Now the linear has both rectilinear motion shown here along this straight line and curvilinear motion shown along this arc. In this video, just make note of the location of the center of mass. In anatomical position, it is above her hips compared to when she goes to push off and moves her center of mass to a more anterior-inferior position. This change makes it easier to manipulate the body because of the good ready position, and allows the force to be applied more directly to the mass. Here we have another image showing the movement of her center of mass as she skates in a curvilinear motion. She moves her center of mass all the way outside of her balance point, which here is the blade. But what is both interesting and important is that she doesn't fall over sideways, which means that she is maintaining a homeostatic balance while shifting the center of mass. The movement of the skater is a reaction. This is based on Newton's third law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. The action of the skater is pushing backwards, and the reaction is the glide forwards. The equation of acceleration is the change in velocity over the change in time. Skaters manipulate both of these values. So here you can see the skater increasing the length of time that she applies the force. We can see she isn't accelerating very fast. We can see the acceleration is faster when the duration of the force is decreased. Okay, so when it comes to manipulating velocity, we have to break down the velocity equation. The change in distance over the change in time. We already manipulated time, so now we are just going to alter the distance. So here we have a shorter distance. And here's the longer length of the force application. The biomechanics related to the kinematic technique in this case is having the athlete bend their knees to allow the blade to stay on the ice for a longer stroke. So in summary, we have a free body diagram to compare the vectors created when the knee is not bent versus bent. And here we can see the benefit of having the athlete bend her knee to minimize the wasted energy exerted through the vertical Y component and maximizing the horizontal component. Be sure to compare the big increase of the X component. And here we can see our athlete putting it all together. We can see how she bends the supporting knee before she pushes off on each and every push, while increasing distance and decreasing time. We can also see the manipulation of her center of mass to demonstrate very effective acceleration. Now that the athlete can apply dynamic biomechanics or acceleration, we are going to move into the biomechanics of the jump. As the name toe loop implies, the jump involves putting the toe pick of the blade into the ice and from there vaulting the skater into the air with a backwards entry. The movement of the skater up into the air is the equal and opposite reaction as stated by Newton's third law. The action, which is the application of the force through the toe pick, can be seen from this side view of the sagittal plane.
Some of the momentum that the skater has entering the jump is converted by extending the supporting leg and vaulting the skater up into the air. The combination of this vertical motion as well as the constant horizontal motion creates a parabola-forming shape of a projectile. Here you will see the conservation of momentum in the air as opposed to when it comes down and how it is maintained whether that's desired or not. Next, we must identify that the axis of rotation is the longitudinal axis of the body, and that the arms and legs provide the external forces to create angular motion. We then ask Sarah what, for her, is most difficult between the retention and production substages of the social cognitive theory.
Hey Taryn, when my toe pick is in, all the problems I have is I bend, and instead of screwing with my knee, I usually pull it up into a backswing without actually reaching the top of my jump. So what I should be doing, then flip. Out.
It is very important that Sarah maximizes the efficiency of bringing her knee up and through because this motion contributes to horizontal, vertical, and angular velocity. Now we are going to look at the body position of the athlete in the air. At this point, the torque has generated angular motion and we are concerned with conserving it. This can be done by aerodynamically tucking the arms and legs on the side of the axis to decrease the drag. Here, Sarah demonstrates the difference between increasing and then decreasing the moment of inertia to increase the angular velocity. As Sarah lands, she increases the moment of inertia to prevent continued spinning. Upon landing, Sarah must also generate opposing torque with her arms to decrease angular motion. And using those biomechanical principles and many hours of practice, you can turn your single toe loop into a double toe loop. Or a triple if your coach has his harness and you're feeling brave, just like Sarah.